or needs to be replaced. If the fuel level goes up to the black level, the filter is dirty and restricted. If you read this part here, there is right there. See that change filter right there. See, change filter. Once every time this unit runs, you will see fuel here. If the fuel is at the very bottom, meaning the filter is still very, very clean, no restriction. As the restriction increases, the fuel inside the valve, you would see, starts to rise. As the fuel rises up to here, this filter needs to be replaced. So to replace, you have to close this one at a time. There is a wrench. This is the wrench. You put it there, open it and change it. And then once you change it, open the valve again, very slow. Don't open it too quick, because once you open it, you introduce air in there. So if you open it too quick, the amount of air that you're introducing to the engine at very instant is too much. The engine would hiccup. So if you open it slowly, although you are introducing the air in the fuel system, but in a slow manner, the engine will run, but the hiccup is not noticeable. So then do the same thing to the rest.
Now you say you can do that on the fly, so if the engine's running,
Yeah.
it's not going to
In
make
case-
a mess.
It's not gonna make a mess because you close it.
You close the valve. Okay.
Yeah. This valve, you are closing two valves right there. You can tell. The in the out. There's two valves. You pull that. It's not only one valve. The inlet and the outlet.
Gotcha.
There's two valves here. You pull it. You are closing this and you are closing this. So it's completely isolated. Also, once the unit is running, you can tell here the level of the engine oil inside the oil pan, because you would see it here, the amount of oil. And this tank will automatically fill up the engine as the engine is running. If the amount of oil inside the oil pan starts to deplete, this tank will automatically fill up the oil inside the engine oil pan. This is the water filter, supplemental coolant additives. That's what we call it. There's an additives inside this filter that treats the coolant. It's a corrosion inhibitor. So this is requires to be replaced once a year or every 250 hours. The same thing as the filter. This is the oil dipstick to check the oil physically inside. There's a hash mark just like your car, the high and the low. This is where you fill the oil.
But with this, you don't need to fill it with that because it automatically fill from the reservoir over there.
Yeah. But when you, like, if we, every time we service this, we drain the oil, this is where we fill up. When you service it. This is only to make up, oil makeup. And the coolant level, it's over there on top of the radiator. There's a sight glass. You can see it by standing
way
from
over
behind.
there.
Right.
Oh, sorry, son.
And that is the air filter minder. If ever the air filter becomes restricted,
Yeah. You see that? See it right
you
here?
will see a red band
That's it right now.
around that, like some cars. Yeah, that. Excuse me. This is the black heater. It's a 5,000 watts, 480 volt black heater. That supposed to run in winter or summertime. The engine has to maintain at least 90 degrees, because once the temperature drops 65 degrees, if you turn off the black heater winter time, temperature drops 65 degrees, the warning will come on here, low coolant temperature. So if you have a low coolant temperature, don't call us first. Make sure
Make sure we get there. Yeah.
the heater circuit breaker is on, also like the battery charger. So, again, the voltage of this is 480. I would like to, but everybody knows it's 480. So, here, if you want more details about the paralleling, you can tell how, what's the condition of the breaker, the status of the breaker. So if this is closed, this will say closed. And then if you hit this next page, it would tell you
The status and
the sync check,
okay.
and it would say close allowed if he's in sync. So if you want more details about that, you can go to the screen, and then there's more page, the K-bar load govern. It's very straightforward. Anything more you want to know about?
No, that's
It's pretty explanatory.
The battery charger, by